Hey folks, Jeff here at Back to Country. Today we're going to talk about our tractor. So if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you've been stopping by, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. And if you like what we're doing, hit like and subscribe. That helps us out quite a bit. And so far things are moving pretty slow in that arena. But anyway, we'll keep putting out content. So why are we talking about our tractor today? Well, because today we bought a box blade, and I've been looking for one for years. They're everywhere, so why was it a challenge? Well, let's get to that. So first thing, let's talk about the tractor. Okay, so here's our tractor. So this tractor is a New Holland 8260, basically a Ford. We bought this tractor because I needed something with a front end loader, and I was moving a lot of dirt, and I didn't want to take forever doing it because we moved literally thousands of yards. So this tractor has a huge bucket on it. It's over 8 feet wide, and I think each scoop is over a yard of dirt. So that was the number one reason why we bought this particular tractor. Of course, you know, price, availability, etc. had something to do with it too. But it's a four-wheel drive, and you know we get some mud here, so four-wheel drive definitely comes in handy. The tires are filled with water, so it's good and heavy and holds the ground good. We do have weights for it as well if we need it, but I've never needed to put any weights on it. Now, according to the specs, this thing's 107 horsepower at the PTO. I don't know why they measure it at the PTO versus at the axles or tires or whatever, but 107 at the PTO. So it's over a 100 horsepower tractor. That's a big tractor. Measurements on this thing, it's 8 feet wide. That's the primary measurement that matters. So when you got a tractor that's 8 foot wide, you got to buy implements that fit it. You know, you got to at least be able to cover your own tracks. So we had to get an 8-foot box blade to fit this thing. So there's box blades everywhere that are 4, 5, 6 feet, and they're not too expensive. You can find them used all over the place. But when it comes to an 8-foot one, literally I've been looking for years. Sure, I could go buy a new one, and the new ones, you know, they're all over 1,000, but I've seen them, you know, all the way up into the 5,000 range. Just crazy prices for them. So I wasn't going to spend that kind of money. You know, everything we buy here, I try to get a good deal on. This tractor is pretty beat up, but it all works, and I'm able to keep it running good. So that's what matters. When we really get down to it, you know, the number one girl in my life, well, she thinks my tractor's sexy. That's all that matters. Anyway, how big this thing is, well, you know, these tires, I'll show you here. I guess you can see that. Them tires are taller than me. Now, I ain't no giant. I'm only 5'4", so you would say I'm of shorter stature, but when it comes down to it, that's still a big tire. So this tractor, like I say, it's huge, and when you start buying implements for it, it's hard to find the bigger implements. So I needed an 8-foot box blade. I've been looking for years. I finally found one today. We'll go down and take a look at it here in a minute. But that's the thing. That's the bad thing about this tractor, is every single thing you buy, it's got to be bigger. You know, if you need a mower for it, for example, well, you want at least a minimum of an 8-foot bushwhacker or whatever. You know, typically you can find them all over the place in the smaller sizes, but once you hit that 8 to 10 foot size, again, harder to come by, more expensive. Plow, same thing. It doesn't matter what it is you're looking for. Implements for these tractors are harder to come by, and when you find them, they're more expensive. So if I had to do it all over again, well, considering why I bought it, I'd probably end up getting the same thing. But you know, now I'd look for something smaller, you know, in the 6 foot wide range, because you can get those smaller implements. They're a lot easier to find, and they're cheaper because of it. When there's plenty of them on the market, definitely that keeps the price lower. The reason, another reason why I bought this thing when I did, so we had rented a tractor before, and we just rented a tractor with a little loader and a box blade on it. It was a little Kubota, mid-range size. It wasn't a small one, it was a medium size, but that thing was gutless. When we was trying to push dirt with it or anything to fill up the loader bucket, man, it was gutless. It was hard to even get a scoop in that damn bucket. That thing was so gutless. So that kind of scared me, and you know, so I knew that I was trying to move dirt was my number one thing I was doing. So I really wanted that higher horsepower, and of course, when it comes to horsepower, who don't want more? But I found this one, and it was over 100 horsepower. So, you know, 100 seemed good. And this thing has 3 gear ranges. Each gear range 6 different gears, so it's 18 gears. That's your forward gears. It's also got like 6 reverse gears. But bottom line is, you put that thing down in low gear and 4-wheel drive, and man, it'll get there. There ain't nothing that this thing doesn't seem to be able to pull. I mean, I've pulled out some of my heavy equipment with this thing, so it definitely has some power, and it'll pretty much do whatever you need it to do. It's just that size thing that makes the difference. So I think if I could find something, you know, in like the 70, 80-ish horsepower range that was 6 foot wide, that would probably be ideal. Like I say, 100 horsepower is great, and you can do a lot with it, but maybe if I just knocked it down to that next size down, I'd have some advantage, because I don't know, pretty much all the implements and everything I bought this far would also work on a smaller tractor. I don't have anything that requires 100 horsepower, but mainly it was just moving all that dirt. So anyway, if you're just starting out and you're wondering, you know, what tractor you should buy, well, first thing I'll say is you got to think about what size you need. And you know, when we're driving on our roads and everything here, 8 foot wide tractor, well, all my roads is 8 foot wide, but the problem is the trees come in at the top and everything, so I can't drive. And it's real tall too, so I can't drive anywhere on this property without rubbing trees and things like that, you know. So I don't have time to continuously cut these trees back and stuff. It's just not our focus right now. We're trying to get to where we can build and get that shop put up so we can build our living quarters and get moved out here. So it all comes down to priorities, and you know, cutting trees to keep roads wide and comfortable so I can drive my tractor through just ain't my priority right now. So bottom line is, when you deal with that size and width and everything, you know, you got first, second, third order effects of that just make it suck. So like I say, if you're just getting started out, think about all those things. Think about, you know, do you really need that 100 horsepower? Get in a few and drive them. And best way to test them out in my book is drop that bucket on the loader and try to push a load of dirt in it, and you know, you'll know if it's gutless, because it ain't gonna do nothing. But if it'll scoop up a dirt out of pile or scrape dirt off the ground, you know, this thing's got so much power. I feel like if I drop that loader down, that I could break something. I mean, it's got plenty of torque and power when you put that thing in low gear. So you know, try those things out, but think about size. Think about the width. You know, this thing being 8 foot wide, That also means that if you got to take it anywhere and put it on a trailer, you know, that's 8 foot wide. You got to have a bigger trailer. You got, everything's bigger. So you just got to think about that. But then if you go too small, then, you know, you're going to wish you had more power and it won't do everything you need it to do. So get in a few, try them out. The differences, you know, you can be loyal to any one tractor or whatever. We bought the New Holland because it was blue. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't care what color it was. We bought it because I found a deal on it, you know, and it was available, and it pretty much had what I wanted at the time. But I just as easily bought a Kubota or a Case or, you know, Massey Ferguson, whatever. I mean, I think they're all good tractors. John Deere, they got their pros and cons to every one of them. I mean, one of the cons to this New Holland, I don't like the turn radius. It don't turn real tight. So there's other ones out there that have a better turn radius. But, you know, you just gotta kind of feel around and see, and you might buy a tractor, and your first one you might go, you know what, I don't really like this tractor or whatever, and maybe you got to buy another one, sell it, and so make sure you get a good deal on it. So if you got to turn it, you can turn it. But bottom line, you know, think about those things. The width is the biggest thing to think about, and hopefully you won't make the mistake we made. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it wasn't, because like I say, it did what we needed it to do. Now I'm just paying for it in the long run, but that's okay. Sooner or later I'll probably sell it and get something different, but for now it's still doing what I need it to do. So anyway, that's what we got to say about tractors and why this one can suck. Overall it's still a good tractor though. But yeah, let's go down and take a look at that box blade, and I'll show you what I got. Stick with us. Alright, so here we're coming up. I haven't even unloaded it yet. Still got her strapped down to the trailer. And I stopped and got some diesel while I was out running around. But here it is. That's our 8-foot box blade. She may be a little bit old and got a little rust on her, but other than that, all the steel is straight and intact. Looks like it'll do the job. That'll definitely help clean up these roads a bit and everything. A box blade is a great tool when you're cleaning up roads and stuff. Easier to maneuver than your bulldozer, that's for sure. So that's it. Finally we found one. Took us years. Anyway, appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for more videos when we put that baby to use. But until then, thanks for stopping by. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.